back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for Verb T, Undivided. I believe it's produced by the man himself. Before I get into the video though, I want to say thank you to everyone who reached out to Vanessa and I for congratulations on our nuptials. It means a lot and I really appreciate it. I truly do. We both do. I've been away from it for about a week only because I took some time, man, to be with family, be with Vanessa, be with myself, get my mind back in the right place. Not that the channel puts me in a wrong place, but I wanted to kind of be away from social media as much as possible. I didn't want to be on the TV. I didn't want to be playing video games. I didn't even make any beats. It was just basically just do some reading, did some meditating, went to the spa, spent all day, man, like just in the hot pools and the cold pools and eucalyptus saunas, and just, you know, spending that time getting the body and mind right. It was nice. Had some naps in a hammock, man. I forgot how nice like a midday nap in a hammock could be. It's been a long time since I've been to Mexico, man. Before, not that I was in Mexico, but a long time since I've been on a hammock just napping, and that's when I would do it. It was when we go to Mexico. Nap in a hammock every day, man. But it's before COVID since we've done that. But so it was nice to get that day where it was just no, even the cell phones, you couldn't bring cell phones in, man. So that shit stayed in the car all day. And it was so nice just to be away, to be disconnected, to be focus on what was important at that moment. We don't do that enough. So anyways, again, appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I love you cats, and thank you again for the well wishes. So without further ado, let's jump in. See what he's got for us.
Ha ha. Waking up, waking up. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Elevate the mood, make the mind awaken from the hibernation. Yeah, life is sacred. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Undivided.
Man, I'm bringing this back. I feel like every time I listen to Verb T, it always seems like a drop comes exactly when I need it. Whether I'm in a place where I'm kind of struggling, and I'll listen to a new Verb T track, and then he'll say something that I can pull from, and be like, "That's exactly what I needed to hear. That's exactly what I needed to get my mind right. That's exactly what I need to focus on." Or he does what he did today, and he comes out with like that hook, man, just talking about the idea about life is sacred, man, and that keeping your mind undivided and focusing on the shit that's important, and focusing on stuff that you can control. I can't remember the name of the circle, but there's a small circle in the middle, then a medium circle, then a larger circle, right? And the middle circle is the shit that you can control. The middle circle is the shit you can have influence over. On the outer circle is the stuff all out of your control, right? And far too much, man. We're all stuck out here, out in this furthest circle, trying to control a bunch of shit, trying to influence a bunch of shit, just trying to. And meanwhile, none of that stuff we can have any influence over or any control over. Yet we spend all of our time out there, man. And that's what this week was about for me, was staying in that middle circle and focusing on the stuff that matters, keeping my mind right, trying to be in the moment, man. And we're too many times, especially these days, man, there's so much stuff going on. Whether it's shitty drivers on your way to work, or the long lineup at the grocery store, the war in the Ukraine, all the energy bills going through the roof, mortgage rates over here in Canada. I don't know if it's like that in the UK, but mortgage rates over here in Canada just skyrocketed, man. Like my mortgage has doubled since July. So there's like lots of shit to focus on, but you know, I can't control any of that shit. And if I spend all my time out in this outer regions, it's just gonna chew you up and spit you out, man. So get your mind right. Focus on the fact that life is sacred, and try to live in that middle circle, man. Dad of the 4 Owls, man, always teaching me something.
Waking up, waking up. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Elevate the mood, make the mind awaken from the hibernation. Yeah, life is sacred. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Undivided, look. They were in the grey, praying for the sunshine, laying in it sometimes. Maybe we could unwind, maybe we could have fun. Lately we've been unkind, shit we tryna patch up. We tryna catch up, she was moving real quick, something I can deal with. Switching is a deal breaker, though I don't feel it. But now we getting back into the mood again. Had to meditate for a second, it was too intense. There's different ways you could look at this. Need to watch the perspective that you put this in. Do you see it as a might be or could have been? Is it a window or a mirror that you're looking in? Do you embrace change? Are you shook of it? Do you judge how it feels or the look of it? Is it close? Is it from afar? Is it good for the mind? Is it from the heart? The city waking up, the sun is rising.
I want to play that again, man. This whole track is very meaningful to me, especially what I just said at the beginning of this video. But he's doing a good way of I mean, kind of like right at the very beginning, like you said, like laying in the gray, praying for the sun to shine. And you could take that any millions of different ways, man. Especially what he's talking about for the rest of the track. But it's just kind of like it goes right back to what I was saying about that. The stuff that you control, stuff that you can't control, right? Instead of being laying in that gray and finding the beauty in the gray and the person you're with, you're just hoping that you can change something that is out of your control. And the idea too about like, are you looking in a mirror or like out of a window? It really does affect your perspective on your situation, perspective on life. Because so much of how we, not even so much, all of it, man, our entire life, everything we put our eyes on, everything that we look out, whether it's on our phones, out the window, whatever, even in the mirror, everything that we see is discolored by our thoughts and our own prejudice, our own hates, our own loves, our own everything, man. Everything that we look upon is really a reflection of ourselves, which is what he's getting at here, man. But this whole part too about, is it good for, good for the heart? All this, I'm really loving this last little section of his first verse here.
The perspective that you put this in, do you see it as a might be or could have been? Is it a window or a mirror that you're looking in? Do you embrace change? Are you shook of it? Do you judge how it feels or the look of it? Is it close? Is it from afar? Is it good for the mind? Is it from the heart? The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Elevate the mood, make the mind awaken from the hibernation. Yeah, life is sacred. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Elevate the mood, make the mind awaken from the hibernation. Yeah, life is sacred. So what's the destination of our destiny? Do you believe it meant to be? Is it by chance? Wavy called the lifeguard, I try hard to see clear. It seems near, but wait, will the time last? Will we see the fruits of labor through the ages? Man, it caught me up, it's too contagious. Flew to places I never would have expected. Went with the flow while I tried to look for direction. Couldn't accept it at times when I was wrong. Why prolong a bad situation? Move your life along, it's what I heard in my head. Who does...
Man, speaking truth today, man. Like always. Shit. I'm just gonna play it again, man. I'm just gonna play this shit again.
Do you believe it meant to be? Is it by chance? Wavy called the lifeguard, I try hard to see clear. It seems near, but wait, will the time last? Will we see the fruits of labor through the ages? Man, it caught me up, it's too contagious. Flew to places I never would have expected. Went with the flow while I tried to look for direction. Couldn't accept it at times when I was wrong. Why prolong a bad situation? Move your life along, it's what I heard in my head. Who deserves the respect? You know it if you learn from the best. The strange turn of events can lead to wild places. The fear within your mind, erase it. We tryna smile and face it. On certain days I'm left looking all kinds of basic. I often feel the same on a nightly basis. In life you gotta find your spaces and hope the timing makes it happen. Something like a chain reaction. You're talking like you're trained for action, but only spray for breeze. Shit as lame as that is. It's important to create something. You know me right here, this is my main function. Even now while I'm sweating on the train pungent, looking out the window as a ray of sun hits. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Elevate the mood, make the mind awaken from the hibernation. Yeah, life is sacred. The city waking up, the sun is rising. My attention is undivided. Elevate the mood, make the mind awaken from the hibernation. Yeah, life is sacred. Golden sun, shedding light. Now the road's begun. Closing up, open wounds. Hope resumes. Limitless progression, or a similar projection. We pray for infinite protection.
Man, like I said, sometimes it comes to me, man, when it needs to be to solidify where I am in my thinking, and that's exactly what this track did, and it really does kind of get to what I was saying, where it just, you hold the cards, man. You control your mind. You just need to make the decision, the choice, all the kind of stuff, like he was saying. Like, do you hang on to that anger and fear and all that kind of shit? Do you hang on to that stuff and, you know, just build upon it, or do you move on from it? Do you admit that you're wrong? As difficult as it is sometimes to admit that you're wrong, admit that you were an asshole. You know what? It takes a stronger man just to say, fuck it, man, I made a mistake, I apologize, I never should have done that, than to pretend that you didn't do anything at all. Because in the grand scheme of things, you lose a brother, or another relationship, you lose a girlfriend or a wife, whatever. All that shit just deteriorates because you're too proud, so to speak, to admit that you're wrong. But this idea, man, is you really do. You control your mind. You just need to make sure that it remains undivided. You control all that shit, man. It can be very, very difficult to keep it under control. But you make the final decision. Starting next week at work, I'm gonna have to be in 3 days a week. So what's gonna have to happen there is I'm gonna have to come up with a schedule where I'm gonna have to film a chunk of videos together and put them out on days where I can't film before I go to work. So some of the releases aren't gonna get done when they should, but I'll get them done as quickly as possible. And with that being said, I love each and every one of you cats, man, for being here and being part of it. Make sure you go check this track out. Buy the new 10th anniversary if you have the money. If not, stream that shit and support Verb T and High Focus any way you can, man. I love each and every one of you cats. Until next time, stay safe. Be good to each other.